Welcome to this live feed, hoping you are exceptionally well. Beautiful day here today where I am, and wanting to do a very quick live feed, very quick live video, an impromptu one again, because thinking about the festive season for so many of us and what it actually means for us and how it impacts our lives and how it impacts our health in particular, but also our mental health, our emotional health, our physical health, and what it actually means, what it means for us when we go through this time. And sometimes we feel guilt. We have overindulged. We have moved out of our patterning. We've moved out of our routine that keeps us grounded sometimes, because we have an opportunity to just create some space for ourselves to do something different, to be someone different. And we let ourselves go a little bit. When I say let ourselves go, we release ourselves from habitual routine and patterning, yeah? So it becomes important in this space, in this time, to not feel tremendous guilt for being someone different, for perhaps overindulging, for perhaps just not being what you're accustomed to. We have to understand that in this space, that any space, in fact, where we deviate from what is normal to us, we will receive a shock. The mind will receive a shock. The body will receive a shock. The brain will receive a shock. And it's okay that happens. What's important is how we deal with our interpretation of those events, is how we speak to ourselves, how we feel about ourselves in that space. And being guilty and feeling shameful, I mean, the distinction between the two is not healthy for us in terms of how we then grow. It's not healthy for us in terms of how we begin to navigate our way through life. And it becomes detrimental to our mental health, to our emotional health, to our spiritual health, to our physical health, if we focus on what we've done that we haven't really appreciated, where we've perhaps been out of whack, where we've been out of that routine. And thank you, Joshua. That's awesome. Hi, Rena. How are you? Thank you for all those who are joining. And if you're joining and you're coming on, just press number 1 in the comment box, and maybe also mention something that you've an experience that you've engaged in. Maybe you've overeaten, maybe you've drunk alcohol, maybe you've done something that hasn't resonated with you because you've had space to just breathe, and maybe you're feeling a little bit guilty about that, or maybe there's even shame there. Again, there's a distinction between the two, but let's just focus on the guilt. And maybe you're feeling that guilt there, and maybe you want to mention that. Maybe you want to begin to release that, because part of it is verbalizing, part of it is owning it, part of it is appreciating it's part of your life, and you can move through it. The thing is, it's done. You can't change it. You can't, hello Laura, how are you? You can't change your actions, but we can learn and we can grow from our actions. Hello. It's super cute. We can learn and we can grow from our actions, and this is what is most important. When we're able to learn and grow from our actions, and we're able to learn and grow from who we've been, what we've done, what we've experienced, what tends to happen is we realize, or we're able to observe various aspects of self that we couldn't see before, because we've allowed ourselves to be open to these experiences. So we're allowing ourselves to feel the guilt, we're allowing ourselves to feel shame, we're allowing ourselves to feel present to whatever it is that we're experiencing. And in that time and space, that's when we transform, that's when we grow, that's when we become more profound versions of ourselves. And what I mean by that is that we gain insight into the various aspects of self. We gain insight into who we are. You see, it's okay every now and then to overindulge. There's a line, yeah, there's a blur. And the better you know yourself, the more acquainted you are with yourself, the clearer the connection you have to your own being, to what your likes are, your dislikes, your values. When you do deviate from your values on occasion, because it will happen, you're human, and this isn't making an excuse for who you are, but we will deviate, yeah? Our attention will be grabbed elsewhere. When we do this, we're able to very quickly come back into homeostasis and equilibrium, because we know ourselves with greater efficacy and with great strength, with great clarity. So really, this is an opportunity to, that if you have overindulged, if you have broken routine, is to not so much not feel guilty. Feel the guilt, feel whatever feelings are coming up, but don't remain there for too long. don't stay in that space for so long that it debilitates you, that it limits your ability to express fully, that it limits your ability to express authentically. Now, on authenticity for a moment, when I say authentically or authenticity, what I'm actually referring to is our ability for our true open self to be expressed, for the version of self to be expressed that aligns with our highest values, with what is most important to us, with our purposefulness in life. I'm not speaking to a superficial aspect or version of self or a facade. I'm speaking to the authentic self within, that resides deep within, that is you. Any expression you make, take, embody, etc. is authentic. If you're expressing that in that moment, it's real, it's very real. But if it's perpetually or consistently coming from a place that is not yours, that you don't own, that is consistently pressured upon you, so the external values that you're living rather than your own, that's not authentic. You're becoming someone that you're truly not, that you truly don't align with. So in this time, as we transit into the new year, and look, any time, any day, any moment is an opportunity for growth, it's an opportunity to reevaluate your life where you are right now. And I'll do another video on this leading closer to New Year's as well. But any opportunity is an opportunity for transformation, if that's what you see, is an opportunity for growth, for challenge, for introspection, for self-examination. But the new year is a symbolic of us really deeply reflecting on our lives and where we're going and why we are going where we're going. So take this opportunity now to feel what you're feeling, to experience the feelings, to experience the present moment, to be with this space that you're in, because so many of us have some time off from routine. We are able to engage in a different routine, and in doing so, you are granted a new perspective on your life, a new perspective on the way you do things, on the way you embody life, or certain expressions, or the way you express yourself. Take this opportunity to delve deeper into who you are, to feel those feelings and be with them, because that allows us to experience wholeness as opposed to fracture or fragmentation. So being in that space is really cool. Special guest. So that's I just wanted to do a very quick live feed there on that, and a very, very quick, do not beat yourself up. Do not consistently or perpetually beat yourself up or feel guilty. Feel what you need to feel. Be with that long enough to understand it, to reap the benefits of it, to grow from it, to then add value to your life and the lives of others, and then move beyond it, move with it. If you're able to do this, rather than being stuck in emotions that do not serve us or feeling states that do not serve us, and also at the same time cultivating brain states that then become the norm for us, behaviors that then become the norm for us. Rather than doing that, we're able to be transient. We're able to transition from state to state, feeling the fullness of it, appreciating it, being in deep gratitude. And by the way, deep gratitude has a profound effect on our physiology, not only our psychology, and our mental states, and our emotional states, but also our physiology, and the way we actually respond to life. So finding the value and the goodness, and also simultaneously the challenge in every experience, because challenges equates to growth, and finding that value in terms of how it aligns with what is most important to you, that's the key, that's the trick in all of that. So when you're able to do that, you're able to move through these states that are debilitating, perhaps even paralyzing and fracturing. They fracture your internal psyche, and they move you through to a greater state of wholeness where you can be in an expansive state. So you're able to experience expansiveness in the space, yeah? Zoe, it is amazing here. Good morning, Annette. Good morning, everyone. Let me know that you're here. Also, let us know maybe some of you're guilty indulging the last couple of days, the last few days. We tend to do that sometimes, especially for those of us that adhere to the cultural practice of Christmas. So, what can you do for yourself? I'll finish off with this. What can you do for you right now to bring you closer to your authentic nature, which we explained before, and I'll just touch on that one more time, is we're being authentic when our inner world, our emotions, our thoughts, apologies about the wind. Oh, it's too loud, is it? Okay, sorry, I'm not loud enough. Okay, let me get into my car. I don't know, my microphone is impromptu, so sorry, one moment. That's going to be better. That's going to be a lot better. So, how's that? Okay, cool. So, what's important is that we're able to remain in gratitude. We're able to observe ourselves as we move through these different transitory states. And that's what they are. They're transitory. They do not last forever. They're not permanent. They are impermanent. So what we want to do in this state is really be connected to everything that we are experiencing, to everything that we are feeling. And as we move through that space, we begin to acquaint ourselves with aspects of selves that we did not know existed, that we did not know was present to us, because we're constantly negating them. We're constantly ignoring these aspects of self. So this period, this time is a beautiful time, not only for deep introspection and reflection, but also for the ability to immerse ourselves in deep gratitude, even though perhaps some of us have overindulged. Perhaps you're feeling feelings about, where is next year going? Where am I going with the year ahead? What am I doing with my life? You've created a space for thought. Don't over busy yourself in this time and space. Create silence and stillness. In that silence and stillness, we are able to acquaint ourselves with the grandest versions of ourselves. In that silence and stillness, we're able to reflect, we're able to be, we're able to experience the fullness of who we are. And in that silence and stillness, answers come to us, revelation comes to us. And that is so beautiful when we're able to experience that. So whilst you may be, and you may not be, experiencing guilt, and whilst you may be experiencing frustration or disappointment that you've overindulged, or maybe your physicality is not feeling great, and you've had a busy year, a hard year. And again, I'm going to speak a lot more to this over the next few days as we move into the transition of the new year. Be with where you're at. Be with what you are experiencing. Be connected to what you are experiencing. Embrace the fullness of that. Do not negate it. Do not negate the guilt, the frustration, or the negative emotions that you may or may not be feeling. Just be with whatever it is that you're experiencing, and allow silence and stillness to permeate you, to permeate the chasms of your mind, so that you have an ability to observe yourself with greater scope, with greater wholeness. And doing so will really alleviate a great deal of suffering that you may be feeling, or apprehension that you may be feeling moving into the next phase of your own growth and your own evolution. And we use the years. I mean, it's an abstract concept. It's arbitrary. You know, time is really quite arbitrary. But beyond that, for a moment, we use the changing of the years, 2017, 2018, as an opportunity to evaluate. Now, again, as I said earlier, any and every opportunity is an opportunity to evaluate ourselves, to go deep within who we are. Every opportunity. But what is important is that in that opportunity of evaluation, of self-examination, of deep introspection, that we allow whatever feelings are coming up to come up. And if it's too much, if it's too intense, subside, relax, jump in the ocean, move the body, exercise, connect to the body, feel, journal, express, move and connect with a social group that is supportive, and then come back to it and slowly expose yourself to what you're feeling and what you're experiencing. In that space, that's where we grow. But by ignoring the feelings that we have, we remain stagnant in who we are. And in that stagnation, we almost run at a loss. We're never really evolving per se. We're never expanding ourselves, learning new things, being taught how to be different in response to life. The more robust and resilient we are in life, the more life gives us. Life loves us. And if we recognize that we can love life, that is deeply empowering, like deeply, deeply empowering. So I'm going to leave you with that. Life loves us. And I've said that the last few days, I've said that a little bit. It really does. Life loves us. We just simply need to not even find, it's reconnecting, rediscovering, reacquainting ourselves with the beauty in our lives. Wherever there is, Paulette, thank you so much for your honesty. Wherever there is loss, there is gain. Loss can't occur without gain. Gain is a reference point. We have something, we lose it. What have we gained? We gained something, we've lost something. What have we lost? And how we perceive loss and gain will affect our well-being. How we perceive loss and gain will affect how we choose to move through life as well. So the interpretations we place on the symbols in our lives really truly affects how we behave and how we feel. So it's about observing that as well and being with that loss, being with that challenge, being with that pain, especially over this time of the year where some of us are very close with family, some of us are not, so it brings up stuff. Some of us are close with loved ones. And family, by the way, the definition of family is just those that we consider close to, that we care for deeply, that we are sincerely connected to. Family is not only bonded by blood, although of course it is as well. So it's about being open to everything that is occurring right now. Oh, it's the little puppies making noises. So be with that. Life loves you. What can you recognize in your life right now that will allow you to be in a place of gratitude and appreciation for who you are? And in doing so, we lower cortisol levels, we lower adrenaline levels and noradrenaline. We lower these stress hormones that are released in our body consistently because we're in a perpetual state of stress or not connecting to self or not in wholeness and fracture and ignoring aspects of who we truly are. So being in gratitude, as I said, has this tremendous physiological effect on us. And of course, if we're in a perpetual state of stress and our body is physiologically in stress, our immune system is lowered, our ability to function and interact authentically, congruently, cohesively, that's affected as well. Our digestive system is affected, and our nervous system is affected. And the follow-on effect of this is tremendous. So be with where you are, but engage in tools and techniques and practices that allow you to be fuller in self, such as surrounding yourself by people that you love and care about, that care and love about you. And if you don't have that in your life right now, reflect to a time that you did have that. And if you didn't have that, reflect to a time that you will have that. And know that life loves you and every component of life loves you, inclusive of yourself. Be in that space. Immerse yourself in that space. Embody that fully. Wishing you many blessings on your journey. Please note that over the next couple of weeks, I'll be moving to my business page, Sifandos Relational Alchemist, for the live feeds. It'll still be on my personal page, but it will be primarily from there. And over the next couple of days as well, actually this evening, I'm going to do a really deep live feed on a very interesting topic. I'm going to share it with you now on healthy narcissism. And does healthy narcissism exist? And the answer might surprise you in how healthy narcissism serves our relationships and our growth and who we are on so many levels, yeah? Wherever you are, enjoy. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you, Emma. Thank you for your blessings, beautiful people. Share this video if it resonates. I'm sorry about the wind earlier. I didn't have my microphone with me today. But many blessings on your journey, on your heart, from my heart to yours. Have a beautiful day, morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And be with where you're at. Life loves you. Thank you. And I'll see you hopefully in another 10 or 11 hours or so. Take care. Many blessings.